Hi there, and thank you for tuning in to The Social Circus, where every week we dive into a variety of topics covering social media, mindset, and how to run your business. I hope that you enjoyed today's episode. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Social Circus. I am your host each and every week, Sarah Thomson, and today I am so thrilled to be joined by someone who I think is a phenomenal human being. I'm privileged to know her and call her my friend. But she is someone who has so much wisdom to impart to us as business owners. Welcome, Lala Macnab. Welcome.
I'm so excited to be here.
I am so thrilled that you said yes to coming on my podcast. And as we were talking before we started recording, I don't know how much we're going to get through today, so you may have to come back and do a second episode.
Absolutely.
But for my lovely listeners who haven't heard of you, can you tell us a little bit about who you are and what it is that you do? In under 25 minutes, please.
All right, go. My name is Lala Macnab. I like to introduce myself as a business mentor and a serial entrepreneur because that is really what I am. So I currently own and operate 5 separate businesses. I have started my first business 2 decades ago, 2003, which I still own to this day. And then I also own another 4 other businesses. One of those is an Amazon business in the USA that I started a year ago. I started another one in June, and the others I started like 5 years ago and 7 years ago. So I still own and operate all of those. I also like to describe myself as the person you'd like to be stranded on a desert island with because I am a good cook, resourceful, and funny as fuck.
Oh, I love it.
That's a perfect person to have around when you get stranded.
Oh, I'm up for that because I always make a joke that in the apocalypse I bring nothing but a good sense of humor.
Like, that's so important.
I think
when the shit hits the fan, you want someone that's gonna like
absolutely. So let's talk about, because you obviously 2 decades is a phenomenal achievement. Congratulations. Can I just start with that?
Oh, thank you.
What inspired you back in those, if we go through the dawn of time, what inspired you to start your first business?
I remember very clearly that if I was going to work this hard, because I am someone who's a go hard or go home kind of person, if I'm going to work this hard, I'm going to do it for myself. I was running other people's restaurants, doing 90 hours a week, monster teams of 30 odd people, making them a lot of money, not feeling appreciated. And I just thought, if I'm going to work this hard, I'm going to do it myself. And I saw a gap in the market at that point for wedding stationery. It's when you used to walk into a shop and pick out your papers and cut and glue them and everything. And I just happened to see a gap in the market and went, you know what? I can do this better. And pretty much every business I've started from that point is me going, I really like that, but we can do better. And that's pretty much how all of them have started.
Well, and that's really what we should be aiming to do. So with your wedding stationery business, you still have that, but obviously I'm imagining that's seen some phenomenal changes with the introduction to digital, and then of course the change to things like Canva where we can DIY. So what's that been like as a business journey?
It's been a hell of a roller coaster. I'm sure. And there's moments when I've been thrown off that roller coaster. There's moments when my head's over the side and I'm vomiting up, and other moments where I'm like, I love this. So it is definitely the roller coaster. It started off as a retail shop, started off in the Subiaco markets, like a little 12 square meter shop as a side hustle, like on the weekends. And then it moved into a full-time retail shop that was small. And then it moved into a bigger retail shop that was like 10 full-time staff and, 300 grand's worth of stock and all sorts of stuff. And then I closed the retail shop because I saw retail declining. My rent was going up and I was not loving it either because it became a monster of a business. And then at that point, also online was becoming more prominent as well. This was before COVID. So there was Etsy coming in and Vistaprint and all those big guys. And I was trying to build a website that was allowing people to order stationery online, but had kind of ended up with the wrong website company. And it was a horrible process and never got anywhere. So it kind of threw me behind. When I closed my retail shop, I had to really face some serious number crunching and kind of go, this is just not going to be viable anymore. And the passion wasn't there, but I wasn't really ready to give up. So it became, closed everything down, got rid of the retail shop, kept my 2 core staff members who I still have with me. Kelly's been with me for 17 years and Anna's been with me for 10, and they are still with me.
Wow.
And we are a bespoke design studio. So we became that almost like going to a wedding dress experience, but we gave it to you in stationery. So a beautiful office that we had and that really emotive experience. And that worked really well for us. And we were trying to build this online e-commerce version of it as well. And we got a bit lost in that because it's a very different kind of conversation and conversion compared to that in-person experience. And COVID hit. And at that point, I had my wedding invitation business and I had an online Etsy store that sold photographic backdrops, which I still have. And it's like a side hustle, passive income thing that goes on. That didn't matter. But when I had to close my wedding business overnight, that was a bit of an eye-opener. And I put myself out into the public on Instagram and said, I offer myself for free for anyone that wants business mentoring. I'm here to help. Didn't charge a thing, did 68 people in 2 weeks and then got asked to be a paid mentor. And that's how I ended up being a business mentor. And then what happened is my passion shifted, obviously. It's always been in there for me. I am that natural person that would do that. But then it got amplified. And then, you know, when you start to see all the positive results that everyone's getting, you're like, oh, you get addicted to it, literally. So, yeah, we did some more number crunching. And it was time to break the brand. The brand was originally called Lala Design after me. It was time to change it. We changed it to Paper and Ink Studio. So we broke the brand away from my name. My mentoring brand is Lala for Business. So it became the dominant name because it is built on me. And Paper and Ink became pretty much managed by Kelly and Anna. They take care of it. It's a full e-commerce site. We still do bespoke work, but it's a much higher price point. And I don't do wedding expos open at all anymore, and it's pretty much all online, and we've just kind of taken that trust in our experience but combined it with convenience. So my ideal client is that couple sitting on the couch 10 o'clock at night going, oh my God, we need to order wedding invites. What the hell do we do? And then they find someone like us and we go, this is what you do. We'll take care of it, but you can order at 10 o'clock at night. And I actually sit there and watch my Shopify go off at the oddest of hours with the oddest of purchases. Yeah. So I wanted to combine the two together. So you've got the convenience and transparent pricing and everything else, but you still get all the beautiful experience and the hand-holding that we do as well. And when it's delivered to you, it's pretty freaking exciting. So that's where that
packaging.
Yeah, that's where that has evolved to now.
Amazing. So you transitioned this business, which was, like you said, a side hustle on the weekends at the markets, to a retail space that became a monster with all these employees and massive stock and all that, to then watching the changes, moving, and then COVID killing the wedding industry.
Yeah.
And then now you have turned it into a rebrand and a really successful e-com business. So, I don't even know where to start with my questions, but I guess how are you still upright? I guess is a great question, because that would floor most of us. Just one of those changes in our business would floor most of us, and yet you've had all these iterations and you're still here. So is that you, or what is driving?
I definitely think it's me. I went through incredible amounts of adversity in my childhood and my teenage life. I had one of those childhoods and teenage lives that you read about in a book and go, holy crap, did that actually happen to someone? So I am that person. I am extremely resilient, and if things happen to me, I don't let it roll me over. I'm kind of like, I'm up and I'm running it, and I will see things for what they are. I'm not saying that I'll always get the timing of it right. There's always this emotional process, like particularly when I had to close my shop, there was a massive part of my identity. And I felt like I failed, and I was beating myself up going, I should have done this earlier. But then when COVID happened, I was like, holy crap, I got the timing right. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I closed my shop before COVID happened, like the year before. So I was really lucky in a sense. But is it luck? No, it's actually being really honest with yourself. Like, I remember closing the doors of that shop one evening or one day after, a busy week, and just going, I fucking hate this. Like, I hate this. Why do I hate it? What's not working for me? Because if you as a leader of your business cannot drive it, then no one's going to drive it for you. So you have to have a really good look at yourself. Business is about really looking at yourself and being honest about what you're good at and what you're not good at. So I'm not afraid of that. I'm not afraid of looking in the mirror and going, you can do better, or this is not for you, or you've fucked up and you should do this. So, but I do believe that what I went through as a child and in my teenage life is actually my biggest asset moving forward as a business owner, believe it or not.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that. And it's easy to say that, but to get up every day and live that and kind of, like you say, have that tenacity and keep rolling. And I know that I think that, those kind of strengths are often at the core of a really successful entrepreneur, but to have got up and lived and done that for 20 years is phenomenal. Like I just think, wow, how have you done that? And I want to kind of, sorry, that was a comment rather than a question. So well done. But in terms of the other things that you have going on, I kind of, when you launched Good Vibes Scents last year, I remember thinking, is there anything this woman can't do? And then I remember thinking, how does she have time?
Yeah, everyone says that. Everyone's like, how do you make time for this and everything else? I have a very, I have a process I go through. I obviously get lots of business ideas, and it's usually when I see a gap in the market of something and it needs to be done, I'm like, oh, I can do that one better.
Yeah.
And then I let it sit with me. So Good Vibes sat with me for over a year or so, and I sat with it because I knew that I had to put my focus with paper and ink, flipping that brand, and keep my mentoring clients working as well. And I was also studying a coaching certificate as well. And obviously keep your health, marriage, friendships, all of those kind of things going. So I look at it and go, okay, do I have the space for this? No, I don't. So I shelved it. And what I did is I kind of allowed, when those moments hit me, I map it out, work out the costing, I did all the research and everything else. And I pretty much got it ready so that when I had the ability to do it, I literally have a button that I just press as go. And then it looks like it's seamless because it rolls out like this and everyone's like, holy crap. But that was a whole year of me just plugging around in the background, doing bits and pieces to get it to that point. And then I was ready to go. And I know that this year is one of the years that I'm focusing on it. So that's how I do it. So I literally say I don't turn my head to focus until I finish what I've done to a certain point. So I was like, paper and ink has to be at this point. My mentoring has to be at this point. The Amazon business my husband pretty much takes care of, and the other photographic ones on Etsy, and I don't even look at it half the time. It's pretty easy going. So those two are my main. I get into a certain point and then go, okay, ready? Good. And it's like when you've got food on your stove and you're cooking, you kind of go, right, I don't start this dish until that one is at like halfway cooked and I do this. It's pretty much like that.
Oh, and that's I love it, Lala, because can I say, and I think this is one of our, it keeps us awake at night as entrepreneurs, is we think, if I don't do it now, I'll never do it, or I'll miss the boat. And you're kind of living proof that, like, Good Vibes Scents launched with such pizzazz and so well done as a launch. Like, I love the product. And yet, to me, I felt like, if I'm really honest, and I know this is rubbish, so it's ridiculous, I thought, did she just come up with the idea and just made it happen in a few weeks? Because that's kind of how it felt.
Yeah.
And I know that it was 12 months in the making. I love that you have that process and that you have that patience. And I guess that's come from being an entrepreneur for so long.
And there's like a process you got to go through, because not every idea is going to be good. Like, there's ideas that I've worked on. Like, I've worked on one idea that I think was like 8 months it took me, and I couldn't get the numbers to work. And I'm not a numbers person, but I was like, I can't make this business make money. Like, I just can't seem to make it make money. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, well, it goes in the bin then.
Yeah,
wow. Do it. Yeah. So, and even with Good Vibes, I remember I had a pilot group, did all the packaging, branding. I freaking loved it. And the feedback was so negative. So I had to go back to the drawing board. Yeah, I got it wrong. And I do branding and packaging, but I was so in it, I couldn't see out from it. But I had to listen when 80% of the people are going, it's kind of nice, but it's not quite right. It makes me feel like this and this. I had to listen. And I remember going home and getting in the car and being so mad at myself, but I just had to go back to the drawing board and start all over again.
Wow. So for our listeners, I love you that. Good Vibe Scents, we haven't come up with what it is. You and I know what it is.
Okay, it's inspirational, reusable car air fresheners. So it is to do better than those ugly green trees that you have in your car that everyone buys that are full of unsafe scents for you. So these are beautiful inspirational quotes, mainly aimed at the female market, really modern designs. I hand set them ourselves in the studio. So the scents are premium grade, no phtalates, no parabens. So it's just really important for females and our hormones. And then you can reuse them by recharging them with a scent pen. And then we donate 50 cents of every sale to our local charity, which is the Perth Homeless Support Group. So that's what it is. It's all of that. And then I plan world domination with it. That is going to be my world domination business.
Look, you heard it first here, because absolutely it is going to be world domination moving forward. But
every car that you see will have one. Every BP you go into, every 7-Eleven, whatever, we're going to get rid of all of that horrible synthetic stuff that just makes you want to.
But can I say, interestingly, because my son's 18 and obviously in his world, all him and his mates got their licenses.
Yeah.
And a couple of his friends and also a couple of my girlfriend's kids were turning 18 last year. So we had a lot of those. And I gave a lot of them the, drive safely, your love.
Yeah.
And all of them love them. And they're all boys, just so you know.
Yeah.
Whilst your audience might be us women who need to regulate our
That
hormones.
in particular, those two I made for a gender neutral base because I did something for guys, but I wanted it to still feel like I actually had in mind your 18-year-old son because I wanted him to get in the car and look at that and it will stop him from doing anything stupid. It just reminds him that he is loved and he's to drive safe. Because that's what I say to my husband every day. You are loved, drive safe.
Oh,
yeah.
I
So
love
that's what it's about.
Yeah, and
I'm glad that happened.
yeah. So and I know my best friend, her daughter bought a car and she hasn't actually got her license yet, and we put that in there as like to remind her so that when she was driving that it's just I love them.
I've just done. They're on their way over. They've just been custom made for 2 car yards here. Where we've actually got drive safe, and then from the car yard, it's got their logo and everything on it.
Oh.
And I'm like, it's an awesome gift. How nice happening? Buy your car and you have this little branded thing, but it's just nice, you know.
It's beautiful. It's not like you say. It's a beautiful product.
Yeah,
like the trees are disgusting.
Oh,
like there isn't a person listening to this who's in Australia that hasn't had a car tree.
Yeah, all the jelly beans as well. They're just disgusting. Yeah. They're not good for us. They're just not good for us to have. Yeah. And I discovered that because, you know, being perimenopause, you start to be really aware of what things play around with your hormones, you know, and scent and stuff like it's one of those things. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not good for us at all. And
so no, it did not happen overnight.
Yeah. So from, and I guess that is the genius of your business and the way in which you conduct yourself is that it looks seamless because you have such great processes. So let's talk about you as a business mentor, because I know that, and can I just say, if you are listening to this and you're in Perth and you have the opportunity to meet Lala in real life, you see her at an event, run and knock everyone over to meet her because she drips genius when she speaks. So
yeah, never be afraid to come up and say hi.
Yeah, definitely. And I guess from a mentoring perspective, let's talk about during COVID and the fact that you gave away so much time.
Yeah.
What inspired you to do that for a start? Because that's cool.
Because one of the tools that I have learned to use for myself to get myself through some of the toughest situations I've been in my life is to actually shift the focus off myself. So when I've had moments that have really tested me personally, and instead of sitting there with me wallowing in my own self-pity, I will go out into my community and go and help someone else. And it changes my mindset. So when COVID hit that Friday and I had to let my 2 most precious people go and with no promise of anything else for them, I was like, whoa, this is probably going to be one of those tough times. Okay, what do? We go out as a community and we help others. Because when you help others, you start to have a bit more gratitude about what's going on, how blessed you are. So I regularly volunteer with the homeless support group, and that is a good reality check as to you kind of going, you know what? Life's pretty good. I'm pretty blessed. I'm healthy. You know, I got good friends. I live in a beautiful place, like all of these things. So that is almost like my kind of like core philosophy of me as a person. That's what I do. And that's what I decided to apply to on that particular moment. Yeah.
I love that. And I know during COVID for all of us, it was such a wobbly time. I watched our business, I watched our online social butterfly business implode overnight. Having been a very successful face-to-face trainer, all my workshops were cancelled, and then we had a very successful web design business, and that evaporated with clients closing, and we even gave refunds on deposits. It was really tough.
Brutal.
And I kind of did what you did. I just thought, I'm going to put challenges out to my community. I'm going to run free online things. I'm going to help people that it's not making me any money, but made me feel so much better.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's very selfish, the generosity.
I agree. My purpose of doing it was actually very selfish. It was actually to just keep myself sane during that time. But yeah, it was amazing. Yeah.
I'm glad we're through it. I'm not sure we're through all the hard times for businesses. Now, I'm mindful, and I said this before, you and I will talk all day, but can you share what's next for Lala?
Oh, okay, world domination? No.
I've no doubt. No doubt.
What's next for me? I'm actually in a really great place where I put in a lot of my hard work, and now it's kind of just keeping everything simmering and working in the way that I have planned it to work. I don't plan on doing anything else other than what I'm doing, and just keep they've all got their individual end games mapped out for each of them. So my job for, the next couple of years is just to make sure that all of that kind of just goes to plan, really. Yeah.
Exciting. And
so it feels calm.
That's a nice feeling, isn't it?
Yeah.
And to be fair, after the last few years that you've had, that probably feels nice.
Yeah, it does. Like I've gone down to a 4-day week, which, I don't think I stopped working Saturdays until like 2 years ago.
Wow.
So, that's 18 years of working 6 days a week or whatever. Now, down to 5, and then now down to kind of 4. So, yeah.
What are you doing on your day off now?
I'm actually got my own business mentor. So I meet with him on Mondays. So I use that. I, go and catch up with my friends, do my housework, whatever. I do whatever I feel like doing after I've done my mentor session with him.
Yeah.
A lot of it involves eating and watching K-drama, because that's my guilty pleasure. So, yeah.
Oh, we love that. Yeah. Oh, so good. I'm built in those Friday flex days into my business.
Yeah. And you can't do like the 4-day week rotator. Do a 4-day week once a month or something like that. Just give yourself permission and know that you've got that extra day off. And then if you choose to get up and stay in your pajamas and do absolutely freaking nothing, then good for you.
Yeah. I think we still need to work out that being entrepreneurs is that we feel like the hustle and grind is the only way forward, and we're still retraining ourselves on that.
I'm very guilty of that as well. I'm very much, the harder I work, the more I deserved it. But I've I kind of reassess that now, and I spend a lot of my time with my mentoring clients, teaching them how to make pockets of time each day for themselves, even if it means they step away for 15 minutes from their desk and eat their lunch away from their desk and feed themselves with good food or something, do you know what I mean? Or catch up for a coffee or go for a walk with their dog just to break up their day. But like fitting little pockets of green time during your day as an entrepreneur is way more effective than trying to take a week off or a weekend off or plan a trip, because we basically have a meltdown. We're like, oh my God, I'm going to take a week off. The shit fight beforehand and the shit fight afterwards. And then when you get there, the week off, you've crashed and burned because you've gone so hard. Actually, the secret is those little moments every single day is what I find is the key.
I actually,
you're all over it.
I'm and today I actually made sure booked in lunch breaks on my coaching days, and my son was making something. I was like, can you just make me some of that since you're making it? And I went and sat not at my desk and ate, which I'm not great at, because you could just keep working, can't you?
Yeah, it's so easy to do. Yeah.
On that last little gem of wisdom for my lovely listeners, I'm going to wrap you up, my lovely Lala. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast today. I'm so appreciative of your time, and I would love to have you back, because we need to hear how World Domination has gone for good 5 cents, and Lala for business as the phenomenal mentor. I want to hear how that's continuing to grow and evolve, because I have a little idea that I'll share with you offline about something that you could move into. But thank you for being so generous and sharing so honestly for my listeners. I'm truly appreciative of that, and I look forward to having you back again next time, Lala. Thanks so much for tuning in to The Social Circus. As your host, Sarah Thomson, I am thrilled that you've chosen to spend your time hanging out with me. I would be so grateful if you could spare an extra moment to go and leave me a review on your favourite podcasting platform. And if you even felt more excited, you could share my podcast with your friends who you think would get great value from it. Thanks so much again for tuning in.